all this apart, you will serve your motherland. That is what I want to say. You will serve your motherland with very, 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 very great heart. When Praveen Kumar, born and brought up in Nalamala Forest, could become an IPS officer, every one of you could become an IPS officer or IAS officer.
So I always insist, almost every day, I tell my students in the 21st century that you have to read the newspaper. Without reading the newspaper, you should not come to the class.
మీ జీవితంలోంచే సివిల్స్ ఉంది, మీ ప్రిపరేషన్లోనే సివిల్స్ ఉంది, అసలు అంతా మీలోనే ఉంది. ఇటు నుంచే అటు వెళ్ళారు సినిమా హీరోలంతా, దివి నుంచేం దిగి రాలేదు మన తారాగణమంతా. మీలోనూ ఉండుంటారు కాబోయే గనులంతా, పైకొస్తే జై కొడతారు అభిమానులై జనమంతా.
All the candidates, all the civil service aspirants and the parents have come here, and also the guests who will be speaking to you. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar, IPS, presently the Secretary of AP Social Welfare Presidential Education Institution Society, and has been part of Indian contingent to various UN missions like Kosovo. So may I request Managing Director, 21st Century IAS Academy to come onto the stage, please. May I request Mr. Akella Raghavendra from the 21st Century IAS Academy to come onto the stage. And I request Mr. P. Rangareddy, the Regional Manager, The Hindu, to come onto the stage. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Praveen.
Thank you, Ravikant. Friends, at the very outset, I'm really amazed to see so many people who want to join civil services. Great news to know that earlier we used to think that only software and then all other professions are very the civil services is not a attractive profession at all. But today, the jam-packed auditorium gives me an assurance that there are so many takers for this glorious service. If you are really impatient, angry, then you are desperate to, you have a lot of disequilibrium in your mind to change the system, I think you should join Indian civil service, more so Indian police service. So this service gives you a great opportunity to serve your motherland. I have no doubt about it. It gives you tremendous amount of discipline. Even on Sunday, you believe it or not. Today I ran for about 10 kilometers. I am just 44 years old. I ran for about 10 kilometers today and then came to this meeting on Sunday. On the day when everyone would like to, get up at about 7:30, 8, 9, 10, perhaps 11. But this service gives you a lot of internal self-discipline. So I had a wonderful professor called Professor Narsimha Reddy. So he is from Mustabad village of Karimnagar district. So he was my major advisor in master's degree. So he is the one who exposed me to civil services, because he used to see my answers continuously, and I used to lace my answers with a lot of current affairs and then a lot of other facts. So I used to do a lot of research and then write my answers, even though my English was not that great. So that was the time he noticed that this guy's answers are totally different from what other guys are writing. Then he advised me, because many of his classmates and colleagues are already IAS officers like Nagireddy, Narsimha Rao and all these celebrities in Indian administrative service. So then he took me to a couple of IAS officers and told them that look, this boy is very brilliant, so please guide him. So that's how I got into civil services loop. Otherwise I would not have joined civil service. By then I already had Indian Research Service. I already secured a good rank in Indian civil services, so I got it. Generally, most of the people feel that the first attempt you can always see the paper and then understand the system, and then second attempt and third attempt you can give the better examination. We also got into that trap, and then we didn't prepare for first attempt, and then we just saw we just saw the question paper to understand the system, and then came back. But later I realized we lost the golden attempt. First attempt is always the best attempt, because first attempt is the attempt where you will be very innocent, you will be very creative, and you will be very radical in your approach. That is what an examiner wants to see in the question paper. Because I had opportunity of going through a lot of answer sheets, like I myself, in National Police Academy, when IPS officers write the examination. So I used to see the question papers. You must always enter into the mind of an examiner when you write civil service examination. All examiners, all officers, everybody is a human being. See, they want variety. They want a different answer. They want a well-researched answer. They want a fresh perspective on everything, which will be possible only when you write with a lot of nascent ideas, when you write with a lot of creativity. But that creativity and all that you get only during first attempt. That is very, very important. I faltered on many fronts in my interview. Yet I gave a lot of answers. I faltered on many fronts, but still I got 186. Again, so the second time also I got 186. It's a miracle. A lot of my friends got 20 marks. They are brilliant. They got 20 marks, 30 marks, 40 marks. See, the reason why I am saying this, why I am sharing my personal story with you is, never ever feel inferior. You are no less than anybody. You are a unique individual. Whether you are from Telugu medium, Urdu medium, whether you are from English medium or Latin medium or French medium, you are a unique individual. You have some ideas. And you have some dreams for the nation. You have dreams for yourself, dreams for your family. You have to lace your answers with your personality. Please mark this statement. Never write your answers without lacing it with your personality traits. If you don't do that, then you won't be different from the others in the examination. I am the first police officer from this state to get into Harvard University. So, and then let me tell you very honestly, even Harvard is the world's #1 university. World's #1. You go to Times Higher Education rankings, you go to QS rankings, everywhere either MIT, Harvard or Cambridge. These are the three universities, they always rank first. Even there also, they always look for diversity. I think John 10, 1996 or 97, on that day in Karakagudam, 16 policemen were brutally killed by first ever military attack by Maoist platoon. My SP asked me, Mr. Praveen Kumar, welcome to Indian Police Service. Now go to Khammam and then see the scene of crime. My mom called me, बेटा ये सब नहीं होता, तुम वापस आ जाओ. ये सब ना तो तुम जिंदा रहना मेरे को बहुत जरूरी है, तुम टीचर बनो, मगर ये पुलिस मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. Then I was really shocked, but finally, anyway, I had to go to, when my SP convinced me, look, this is only a beginning. You will see plenty of action like this. Don't feel fed up. This is the reality, and this is how we have to secure the nation. We have to learn from our mistakes and give a report as to how this was done. I went there. Heart-rending scenes, like all wives and police constables. It's a very emotionally surcharged place. So there you go, and then you learn from there. And then today you can see we have so much of sacrifice, we lost so many officers. We lost so many. Every year we used to lose about 100 to 200 constables and then sub-inspectors. And then whenever you go and meet their families, they look at you. They look up to you for something which you have to deliver as a leader of the police force. So that is the kind of environment we are all brought up. So police by nature is a very distinct service. It is a very, very distinct service. It has a distinct identity. That is, you wear uniform. You have tremendous authority vested by law. No society can survive without police organization. It's impossible to survive without police organization because, as James Madison said, if men were angels, no government would be necessary. That's what James Madison said. When men were ages, no government would be necessary. So men are not ages. Police is required to maintain order in the society. Then police has tremendous sense of respect. I don't know. Many of my relatives, they named their sons as Praveen just because I am a police officer. So you have that identity. You have a distinct identity in the society, in your own community. You can help a lot of people. More so when you are an angry guy like Dabang, Chilbul Panda, you have that kind of impatience and then anger. Then you can really catch the imagination of thousands and thousands of millions of people. We have so many celebrity police officers. Like I don't want to name them. Some of them are working in Hyderabad city. Some of them have worked in Hyderabad city. They have inspired. They have saved millions and millions of people. Once you are a policeman, you remain as a policeman throughout your life. This department won't disown anybody. We have a lot of international exposure. I have visited as a policeman 18 countries in my life. All this apart, you will serve your motherland. That is what I want to say. You will serve your motherland with very clean heart. When Praveen Kumar, born and brought up in Nalamala Forest, could become an IPS officer, every one of you could become an IPS officer or IAS officer.
So my question would be, being a police officer, was it important for you to be think outside the box, or was it necessary that you follow by the rules and always just go by the rules? Or is it important being a police officer that you do what is necessary at the point and think out of the box for that time?
Great question. If you go by a conventional rule pattern, or if you go by the rules imposed by the laws and acts, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you will only become a status quoist. This nation won't change with status quo. If you have to make this nation as a global superpower, you must always think out of box. As a police officer, as a civil servant, as a software engineer, as a student, always I would advise to think out of box. I just tell one example. I have studied with the students of 80 countries. So I had a very good friend from South Korea. I was just going to the patents of South Korea and patents of India. The population of South Korea is 45 million. The population of India is 1,300 million. Am I right? Approximately. Okay. So the number of patents South Korea had registered so far. South Korea has registered so far is 80,000 patents they have registered in US Department of Commerce and Trademark. Patents and Trademark. Can anyone guess how many patents our country has registered so far? 5,723. See the disproportionate figure. 80,000 patents for 45 million, 1,300 million people, and then you have only 5,723 patents. And see Taiwan. Taiwan's population may be around 10 million, not more than that. It's a small, tiny country. You know how many patents Taiwan has registered? 1 lakh patents. Maybe 90,000 or 1 lakh patents. So, madam, it is a very important question you have raised. We must think out of box. Whenever we write answers, whenever we present our ideas, always be different. Please acknowledge your source. If you don't acknowledge your source, it amounts to plagiarism. Plagiarism is no less than a murder and burglary. So let us not plagiarize. Let us not, we have to have original ideas, and then this nation will change only with original ideas. That's what I think.
Good morning. Civil service preparation, most important area and most frequently asked question. Exam crack చేయడానికి IAS exam crack చేయడానికి ఎటువంటి ఆప్షన్స్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, తర్వాత ఎలాంటి బుక్స్ చదవాలి అండ్ న్యూస్ పేపర్ ఎలా చదవాలి, ఇటువంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ చాలా ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా అడిగేటటువంటి క్వశ్చన్. ఫస్ట్ బ్రీఫ్గా ఆప్షనల్ సెలెక్షన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి అనేది టేకప్ చేస్తే, అది మన ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ బేస్ చేసుకుని ఆప్షన్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలా, ఆర్ లేకపోతే ఆప్షన్ సెలెక్షన్ అనేది మన ఇంట్రెస్ట్ని బట్టి సెలెక్షన్ చేసుకోవాలా, ఆర్ లేకపోతే ఎక్కువ మంది ఏ ఆప్షన్ తీసుకుంటారో ఆ ఆప్షన్ని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవడం జరగాల అనేటటువంటి డౌట్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. సో యూజువల్గా ఎక్కువ మంది చేసేటటువంటి ప్రాక్టీస్ ఏంటంటే మోస్ట్ పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్ అని ఉంటాయి, ఒక 4-5 మోస్ట్ పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అటువంటి మోస్ట్ పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్ని జనరల్గా అభ్యర్థులు ఎంచుకోవడం జరుగుతుంది. అంటే మోస్ట్ పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్ అంటే లైక్ ఇప్పుడు పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ కానీ, సోషియాలజీ కానీ, ఆంథ్రోపాలజీ కానీ, సైకాలజీ, జాగ్రఫీ, హిస్టరీ అండ్ తర్వాత రీజనల్ లిటరేచర్ అంటే తెలుగు లిటరేచర్ కానీ, సో తెలుగు లిటరేచర్ కానీ ఇటువంటి ఆప్షన్స్ అన్ని జనరల్గా పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్. సో ఈ పాపులర్ ఆప్షన్స్లో 2 ఆప్షన్స్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవడం జరిగింది. అది మన ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ బేస్ చేసుకోవడం జరిగింది, బేస్ చేసుకుని ఉండాలా లేకపోతే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ని బట్టి బేస్ చేసుకోవడం జరిగింది. సో జనరల్లీ people think that you need to have an educational background. The most successful option and which the option that is most scoring should be the criteria in the selection of a particular option. So in that way that the option selection should be. But generally, according to the UPSC results, according to the depending upon the UPSC results of the past 10 years, it is found that it is observed that generally people having the options like sociology or history or anthropology and public administration are getting more selections with these options. And second issue that is most frequently asked by the candidates is whether a Telugu medium candidate suitable to write the civil service examination or not. Whether you belong to the Telugu medium or English medium, it is not criteria. The only criteria that is analyzed in the examination, identified in the examination is whether you have presented the answer properly or not is the most important aspect. The civil servant needs to understand the problems of the farmers or the poor people, the people who are below the poverty line. So not only knowing the problems of the people but also having the ability and skill to provide solution to the problems of the people. And this social consciousness is a basic requirement for a civil servant, for the aspirant to prepare for the civil servant, whether your background is a BA background or MBBS background, or you are from the Telugu medium or from English medium. And most importantly, finally, the one more issue is how to read the newspaper and which newspaper has to be read. And we often suggest the candidates to read the Hindu newspaper, particularly the editorial section. So why this editorial section and newspaper reading is compulsory for the civil service aspirant? And you don't believe that 2 questions are directly asked from the editorial. 2 questions are directly asked from the editorial. And when you read the editorial, the advantage that you will get is you will know different dimensions and different opinion about a particular issue. Because whenever you see an issue, whenever you observe an issue, in that issue you have to find out both the positives as well as the negatives and coming to a conclusion with a good solution. And this particular approach is given in the editorial page, which is very much required for a civil servant. Because a civil servant who is a policy advisor and who is a policy executor need to have this particular attitude. That is, observing the situation, finding the problem in it, and providing a solution to that problem. And as a civil servant is expected to do all these things, do all these exercises, the civil servant also has to, the UPSC will also test the same kind of skills on part of the civil service aspect. But when you are writing the optional, or when you are writing a general studies paper, or when you are writing a general essay paper, you are not tested about the general knowledge. You are going to be tested about your civil service aptitude only, even in the optional paper as well. So I always insist, almost every day, I tell my students in the 21st century that you have to read the newspaper. Without reading the newspaper, you should not come to the court. Whenever an issue is given in the newspaper, that particular issue will be commented by both ruling party representatives as well as the opposition party representatives and also third front representatives. And when you read all these views, then you will have your own opinion about how CSAT is linked to the newspaper. Because in the CSAT paper, there will be half of the questions will be based on the mathematics related and mental ability related questions, and remaining half will be based on the comprehension passage. And you don't believe that last year and before last year, at least 2 comprehension passages are directly borrowed from the given from the newspaper editorials only. So that is why I very frequently insist the students to focus upon reading the newspaper. Dr. Sudharani, she was also an IPS, she is an IAS officer, and she was asked in a reverse way after completing the interview that, do you have any questions to ask us? She was asked that, do you have any questions to ask us? That is, the candidate was asked to question the interview board. So such kind of approach is also adopted by the UPSC, not only on the interview board but also in the mains exam as well as in the preliminary examination. And at 21st century, we develop this reverse thinking attitude to the people. The reverse thinking attitude is thinking everything from the positive way and in the negative way, and coming to a conclusion. Beyond that, nothing is expected. No other skills are required for the civil servant in general, particularly.
Be proud that you are Indian. భారతదేశంలో పుట్టడము అనేది, ఈ నేల మీద పుట్టడము అనేది ఏ పూర్వ జన్మలోనో పుణ్యం చేసుకుంటే దక్కుతుంది. ఏ పూర్వ పుణ్యమో ఏ యోగ బలమో జనించినాడవి భరతఖండం. నువ్వు తినే ప్రతి ఒక్క మెతుకు ఈ సంఘం పండించింది, గర్వించే ఈ నీ బతుకు ఈ సమాజమే మనచింది. You are here to do something to the society, not just for you. జీవంత మాత్రమే ఉన్న ఒక దేశం మహోన్నతమైన శక్తిగా ఎదుగుతోంది అంటే, ఒక మహోన్నతమైన కాశ్మీర్ నుంచి కన్యాకుమారం వరకు, సౌరాష్ట్ర నుంచి నార్త్ ఈస్ట్ వరకు ఉన్న మహోన్నతమైన దేశమైన ఈ దేశంలో దాదాపు 2300 కిలోమీటర్లకు 2300 ఉన్న అలాంటి ఒక మహోన్నతమైన దేశంలో పుట్టిన మనం మన దేశానికి ఏదో చేయకపోతే చచ్చిపోవడం. Be clear about the target. Be clear at your aim. Be clear about your work. Be clear about our parents. Be clear about our coaching. Be clear about our material. Be clear about the newspaper you are reading. Be clear about the item which you are reading in the newspaper. Be clear even if you are sitting here. To respect parents. అమ్మని నాన్నని మనం గౌరవించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ప్లీజ్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఎల్డర్స్, పెద్దవాళ్ళని మనం గౌరవించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ప్లీజ్ రెస్పెక్ట్ సిస్టమ్స్, వ్యవస్థల్ని మనం గౌరవించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ప్లీజ్ రెస్పెక్ట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్, రాజ్యాంగాన్ని మనం గౌరవించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ప్లీజ్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఆల్ ద పర్సన్స్ బిహైండ్ యూ, బిఫోర్ యూ, సరౌండింగ్ యూ. మీరు కనుక మీ ముందున్న, వెనుకున్న, పక్కనున్న, చుట్టూ ఉన్న వారిని గౌరవించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ఆబ్వియస్లీ that will become a manufacturing product or a inculcated product in your habitative product in your body. మీరు ఇవాళ నుంచి చేసే ప్రతిదే, హ్యాబిట్ మేక్ ద యాక్ట్, యాక్ట్ మేక్ ద యాటిట్యూడ్, యాటిట్యూడ్ మేక్ ద క్యారెక్టర్, క్యారెక్టర్ మేక్ ద హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్. మీ జీవితంలోంచే సివిల్స్ ఉంది, మీ ప్రిపరేషన్లోనే సివిల్స్ ఉంది, అసలు అంతా మీలోనే ఉంది. ఇటు నుంచే అటు వెళ్ళారు సినిమా హీరోలంతా, దిగి నుంచేం దిగి రాలేదు మన తారాగణమంతా, మీలోనూ ఉండుంటారు కాబోయే గనులంతా, పైకొస్తే జై కొడతారు అభిమానులై జనమంతా. థ్యాంక్ యూ, థ్యాంక్ యూ, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
అనంతనాగ్ అనేవాడు ఈ భూమి మీద ఉన్నాడు అంటే అయితే సివిల్స్లో ఉన్నా ఉండాలి అండ్ దట్ ఇట్, ఇంకా లేకపోతే ఈ భూమి మీద ఉండడు అని చెప్పేసి అభిప్రాయం. నేను వాట్ ఇస్ ద వే ఫర్ మీ? నాకు చూసిన ఒకే ఒక దారి పేపర్, హిందూ పేపర్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ. నేను హిందూ పేపర్ని ఎంత పవిత్రంగా నేను చదివేవాడినంటే, ఇఫ్ ఐ డోంట్ రీడ్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ డే, ఐ యూజ్ టు స్టడీ హిందూ పేపర్. అది చదవడమే కాదు, హిందూ పేపర్ను చదివి నా ఓన్ రైటింగ్తో నేను నా బుక్లో రాసుకున్నాను. బై దట్ వే నేను 2009లో నేను ప్రిలిమ్స్ క్లియర్ అయింది, మెయిన్స్ క్లియర్ అయింది, ఇంటర్వ్యూ అయింది, బట్ ఫైనల్గా నాకు ర్యాంక్ రాలేదు. బట్ మళ్ళీ 2010లో రాసినప్పుడు ఐ గాట్ ఇన్ టు సర్వీస్. బట్ నాకు సర్వీస్ వచ్చేంత వరకు నేను 2011 ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్ళేంత వరకు, ఇప్పుడు ఆగస్ట్ 2008 మొదలుకొని 2011 ఇంటర్వ్యూ డేట్ ఏప్రిల్ 23rd ఆ రోజుతో నేను ఆపాను. ఈవెన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ డే రోజు కూడా నాకు నోట్స్ రాయడం నాకు కష్టం అవుతుంది అని ఉద్దేశంతో, బికాజ్ మై ఇంటర్వ్యూ వాజ్ షెడ్యూల్ ఎట్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్. సో నేను యూపీఎస్సీ భవన్కి నేను ఐ హ్యావ్ టు రీచ్ దేర్ అరౌండ్ 11 o'clock. సో నేను అందుకని చెప్పేసి నేను ఏం చేశానంటే, నాకు 11 o'clock నేను యూపీఎస్సీ భవన్కి రీచ్ అయితే నాకు 2.5 hours టైం నా దగ్గర ఉంటుంది. ఈ టైంలో నేను పేపర్ చదవచ్చు అన్న ఉద్దేశంతో ఆ రోజు మాత్రం నేను నోట్స్ రాయకుండా అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి కూర్చొని ఆ రోజు కూడా నేను న్యూస్ పేపర్ చదివాను. లక్కీలీ ఆ రోజు న్యూస్ పేపర్లో ఉన్న ఐటమ్స్ కొన్ని ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ గురించి నాకు ఇంటర్వ్యూలు అడగడం కూడా జరిగింది. దట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్ ఇష్యూ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ వే ఆఫ్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ ఫర్ సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్. ప్రిపరేషన్ అనేది ఎలా స్టార్ట్ కావాలంటే, యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్టార్ట్ యువర్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఫ్రమ్ పర్సనాలిటీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ. అంటే పర్సనాలిటీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో అంటే నువ్వు ఇంటర్వ్యూ హాల్లో నువ్వు కూర్చుంటే వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో చాలా సులభంగా నువ్వు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాలి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్టార్ట్ యువర్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఇన్ దట్ వే. యూ ట్రై టు మోల్డ్ యువర్ పర్సనాలిటీ. యూ ట్రై టు బిహేవ్ ఎన్ ఆఫీసర్ ఆన్ ద డే వన్. ఒక ఆఫీసర్గా అయితే నేను ఎలా ఆలోచించగలను, నేను దీన్ని ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయగలను అని చెప్పేసి ఏదైనా ఒక ప్రాబ్లం ఏదైనా వచ్చినప్పుడు యూ థింక్ ఇన్ దాట్ వే.
Hindu newspaper, as you know, is 134-year-old and which is one of the largest read and highly respected newspaper, not only in India but one of the best papers anywhere in the world in terms of its quality, in terms of its printing, and the way the news and events are covered in Hindu is the key in getting this appreciation from world over. Main reason why we wanted to bring activities like this to the youngsters is to educate them so that they can carve their career, they can understand the environment around them, they can tune themselves as a productive person when they come out of the campus and start a career, whichever career they want to start. So we do these programs not only for civil services, for various other subjects also, like on IT, on medicine, on engineering, at different levels, for the school students, for the intermediate students, for the graduates, and for those who are pursuing business studies.
What interests you in civil service? Basically the power which it gives, the drive that you can help so many people out of it. That is what is motivating.
How do you like civil services?
Yeah, it's a good platform. I think not everybody can serve the nation. There are limited people who can do that. So it's great when you get the opportunity to work hard and go towards this stream.
Like what interests you in civil service the most?
Yeah, my father is an ACB officer, so I was just interested in to be an IAS and to be a collector.
If given a chance, what do you like to change in the society as in helping people?
Yeah, actually I want to help and raise the people of agriculturists because they are the backbone of our country, so I want to give them my full-fledged support in their agriculture departments.
It's really very useful for the aspirants of civil services.
I just came here to know what are the contemporary issues going on and what are the experiences shared by those elite persons. We came to know what are the experiences overcome by the bureaucrats who attempted the exam previously, and so that we can avoid those mistakes and we can perform better in our services.
The program focused upon how to prepare for civil services and what are the possibilities in the career as a civil service as a career. And this program is organized in association with the Hindu.
ఈరోజు హిందూ న్యూస్ పేపర్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ 21st సెంచరీ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ అకాడమీ హైదరాబాద్ వాళ్ళు కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్న సెమినార్కి నన్ను పిలవడం జరిగింది. సో ఐ కేమ్ హియర్ టు గివ్ ఎ స్మాల్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ అబౌట్ సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ అండ్ ట్రై టు మోటివేట్ ద aspirants of civil services basically. And I felt very happy that it went on very well, and the aspirants have interacted with me in a very good environment. అండ్ వాళ్ళకి ఏమేమైతే డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయో దే క్లియర్డ్ ఆల్ దే డౌట్స్ ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ కరెక్ట్. అండ్ నాకు తెలిసిన వరకు సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్కి ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ కావాలి అని చెప్పేసి నేను ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ టు దెమ్. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ అనేది మనకి యాక్చువల్గా చాలా మందికి ఉన్న నోషన్ ఏంటి అంటే ఇది చాలా చాలా కష్టము దీన్ని క్రాక్ చేయడం అని చెప్పేసి ఉంది. బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ఎ డిఫికల్ట్ టాస్క్. You just have a will and believe in you. You will definitely get success in the civil services, and getting success in civil services is a very small step. Afterwards, for the next 35 years, the service what you are going to put to the country, it's very, very, very important. You try to have that aptitude in your mind, and you will definitely get success in civil services. Thank you.
At any point of time, IAS అవ్వడానికి ఒక సివిల్ సర్వెంట్గా ఉండడానికి మీకు మీ కుటుంబానికి మీ పేరెంట్స్కి మీరు చదువుకున్న కాలేజీలకి ప్లస్ మీరు పుట్టిన ఈ భారతదేశానికి సర్వ్ చేయడానికి ఒకే ఒక అవకాశం, అది సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్లోకి వెళ్ళడం, సాధించుకోవడం. దట్స్ ఆల్.